night feels right.
If y'all need like theme music, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I will totally tell me what vibe you want. I will totally
vibe.
Yeah, okay.
That.
I'll make you something sweet when I get home, man.
Would be cool.
Oh shit, that'd be
I got you.
wicked.
You tell me what BPM you want it, man. You want it 120 BPM to
60. Toby likes it slow and churning.
Churning. Okay, I played this one group with this one band, and they kind of came up with this weird word called slurching.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
it
you're
kind of
lurching along.
yeah, but it's
slow
like
lurch.
you know, that kind of thing. So slurching, it's all kind of in the word there. So
Well, that's fun.
yeah, passing that one.
Toby's already
All right, sure, I guess
started
I'll do
this joint. Okay, welcome to the momentous 20th episode of A Drink and a Joint with Toby and Davvy. That's Toby.
Good day. That's Davvy. And this is our guest, special guest.
Hey, that's
Ryan
me.
Crabtree. Yeah. Nice for your ear holes.
Oh, God. So, oh my God, Ryan,
our old
it's
friend.
so good to have you here.
Thanks, man. It's good to be here.
We haven't seen Ryan in probably a little bit over a year. He's a very dear friend. We've been playing...
dear
yes,
friend.
a dear friend. Cat friend.
Catman. The
Catman.
Catman doesn't come from, does it? I've always heard people call you that. I didn't know. Is it just your attitude?
I guess, I don't know. I just was like, people were like, oh, we're doing blank or blank, or you want to go do blank or blank? I'm just,
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
about
Catman
that.
does not.
That sounds sketchy, or that sounds
Okay.
like not my thing.
That was probably every time I asked you to do anything.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
Parking lot for 3 hours. Who we robbing?
Yeah. I don't really want to do this.
Catman does not. So, but like that nickname never really that didn't carry over to North Carolina at all. Like
okay.
that kind of lives
Left
here.
that behind.
Yeah.
Now, pretty much, y'all are probably the only
Now you
ones.
brought it back
Well,
up.
yeah.
Yeah,
now
no, it's
we're-
cool. Everybody just says Crabtree now, so.
Anytime we're going to really embarrass you when we
man.
come to visit.
Change
Yeah.
sides on this.
God, I'm never telling you about this.
But, yeah, man. So today we're going to be kind of talking with Ryan. He kind of fucking sledgehammered his way into bringing his instruments. We've never had a musical guest on the show before.
Yeah, I don't know how to use words. I don't know how to talk.
Speaks through the
or
bass.
be interviewed or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't have.
Well, that's good. We don't really know how to interview anybody.
Oh, hey, great.
So
We're all in
it's
the
out.
same boat. Awesome.
So we're just going to awkwardly ask you questions as you dodge them and play bass.
And I'll totally awkwardly answer them and awkwardly play the bass too. So
So let's see here. Let's start with how we met.
Yeah.
Toby, how did you meet Ryan?
Was it the night that we were tripping together? It was before then? It was at Chat State. That's where it was. When I was in my shiny shirt phase.
yeah, I still have my shiny shirt. I don't know what happened to your shiny
I
shirt.
know,
Mine's
last
still hanging in the closet.
Yeah,
I've seen
I
a few
retired
Oxybox
one of
shirts.
my shiny shirts. So
Yeah, I still have that one.
But-
I don't know what it's made
man.
out of, so anytime I wear it and somebody touches it and they're like, oh my god, what is this made of? Like, I don't know, water, I think. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
it's just all natural.
I don't know how they made this.
So I guess,
Total
I guess I
sorcery.
met him at Chat State. Well, yeah, when I was spaced out and you were going to classes and shit. And we get high in between classes with Houston and Gable and shit. I think that's where we met.
Actually, Gable is supposed to be our guest next week, which will be
shit.
fun.
Hell yeah, I'm into that. I'll watch that one.
Oh man, yeah, he's been doing good.
Oh yeah, super stoked for him being an actual adult now.
It's hard. It's hard out there for adult.
Yes. Oh fuck yeah.
When did you meet him?
So it was. I can't put. It was a dark and foggy night.
Yeah.
I
In
remember
Maine?
it. What? Yes, in Maine, where we're all from. We're all from
course.
Maine.
Yeah. Martha's Vineyard, actually, but
That's not in Maine.
The main place.
that's why I said actually.
I remember we were in. What did Houston call the big blue truck?
Oh, Belinda.
Belinda. Yeah.
Oh, man,
okay.
I loved riding Belinda. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, it was a giant blue Dodge
Ram.
Ram.
Riding a redneck living room down the highway. It was so cool.
But I was riding around with Houston one night, and he was like, "All right, we're gonna go meet Ryan Crabtree." And I was like 15, and like I was just kind of being swept up into this group of friends. I'm getting real sentimental already. I love it. Just like it automatically takes a turn.
Yeah.
So I was 15. And Houston used to just, like, pick me up on the weekends, and, like, I'd make him buy me cigarettes, and, like, we'd just, like, go hang around with... I was just being introduced to everybody, so, like, it was, like, being brought into a huge family.
Yeah.
But,
family that never talks.
We were, just never talks, and have fallen to the wayside by now, and turned into...
Yeah. To whatever.
Mere shadows of
Lots
what they
of
used to be.
Dads and husbands. Are my old
Oh
friends.
yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm one of them. We're both husbands.
Yeah. No, I'm not hating.
But Houston was like, "Hey, we're gonna go meet up with this cat named Ryan Crabtree," and I was like, "Okay, I don't know this person." But as soon as he walks up, because we parked over near this one place where we used to go smoke, over on I forget the name of that street, and probably shouldn't say it anyways. So, it's like
So behind the hipster coffee shop that we also don't name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good street back in the day.
Yes. Okay. So
some stairs. Was that the where the
stairs
to nowhere, whatever?
around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ryan walks up to the car and gets in, and like I just thought, like, dude, this dude looks like fucking Kurt Cobain.
I actually did look like Kurt Cobain.
You
Not
did.
on purpose. I was never like a Kurt Cobain fan. So
You just
like
favor him.
it was just.
Hey, he's a hot dude. Come on.
Was
the way my.
Oh yeah.
before the whole shotgun blast to the face thing.
Hey, some people are into that.
That's a career maker right there.
Or career breaker. I don't know.
Depends on how you view
you're on.
success.
I suppose. You know, different.
This new segment.
Oh God. But okay, so you got in the truck, and we were like, we tripled up in the truck instead of getting into your car that had more seats.
What was I driving at the time? There's no way that my car had more seats.
You talking about the Celica?
Man, there was two small back seats. Oh, I guess
Yeah,
that's
it was
right.
cramped.
Houston's truck was the truck.
Yeah,
forgot.
it's a
Okay.
truck. Yeah.
I forgot.
He gets in, and we smoke a cherry. Was it strawberry flavored blunt? I think it was a strawberry
I don't
flavored
know.
blunt.
He was into the flavored thing for a little while. I don't really remember.
I think you brought it.
No.
I'm pretty sure you brought it.
No way.
I'm pretty sure
No
you
way.
whipped out a strawberry flavored blunt. And
No
then
way,
Houston celebrated, and I didn't know what was going on.
No way, dude. No way.
Was that also the night that we went to Gables?
We went to Gables a lot of nights. I
It's
don't really
true.
know. So, I don't know.
All right, well, that's out of the way. We met.
Yeah, dude, we used to get real high. I miss the way I used to get high, like, you know, like fuzzy-eyed kind of high. It just doesn't happen anymore. I don't know. Just reminiscing.
Just we're growing up, Toby.
Yeah.
La da 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 da. This is a weird fucking episode.
I love it. This is abstract as fuck.
All right, we're just pulling things out of the ether. Here we go.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about politics.
Y'all got talking points on genocide?
Yeah. Okay. So in preparation for this episode, well, there was none. But we told Ryan. We asked Ryan if he had any talking points on genocide because we were going to try to cover cullings and the moral and ethical ramifications of such acts on the human race and the universe itself.
Which, yeah, over some bass tones.
And those are important topics, you know?
Yeah, these are real world things going on.
Need real bass tones.
But we're probably not going to cover that today. But anyways,
I mean, I got my
Ryan.
Google Box right here.
okay.
You got it. I will, like, you know, under the table, you know, French class, math. I didn't cheat in math class or French class.
So,
but
like, you remember, okay, so,
know.
yeah, what was that movie? There was another one that you might have seen, The Kingsman. Did you ever see that? Samuel Jackson's in it.
Has a lisp. It's pretty great.
He plays an awesome character in that.
Yeah.
He usually does play awesome characters.
I'm so excited for Glass. Glass just dropped another trailer the other day.
I know that.
It's the sequel to Unbreakable and Split.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of those?
No, I don't
Damn,
I'm
those
sorry.
are amazing.
It's
I'm
okay.
like, I'm the worst-
Shyamalan.
No,
worst pop culture
honestly,
guy
I'm
ever.
excited for you.
Okay.
So you need to go watch Unbreakable and Split.
Some
Okay.
M. Night. movies.
I'm into M. Night. That's cool. I'm all about the twists.
He's making a comeback.
Okay.
For real.
That's the twist?
Yeah.
Okay.
The twist is, it's good.
Split was amazing, though. It's like a guy with multi-personality disorder, and he, like, ends up growing and, like, changing himself physically with his mind and shit. It's amazing.
That's cool.
Really good, yeah.
It's cool. And then Glass is just like a continuation of those stories because, it's fucking... You should have seen it already because the third one's coming out. It's hard for me to be like, spoiler alert, when the previews for the next one's already happened.
So in Opposite Box, our drummer kind of does this thing where he'll do what you're doing. He'll try to talk about a movie like, man, have you seen this movie? Oh, well, you're probably never going to see it anyway, so he'll just go ahead and spoil it for us. Yeah, well, it's okay, because I might not ever see it, and, he just saved me, $40, because it's expensive to go to the movies now. So,
$87.50.
$87.50 if you buy the popcorn.
Yeah.
God damn popcorn.
They get you with the popcorn, man. But, so it doesn't bother me if you, like, ruin a movie. If I want to go see it, I'll still go see it. I don't care. But, so,
all right.
You can totally, like, ruin movies. I'm not one of those guys.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
cool.
Everybody has the internet, so everything is ruined anyways,
Yeah, I got fucked over for The Force Awakens. I got caught in one of those things where it's like just showing you a video and then it pops up at the end. It's like Han Solo dies, and you're like, fuck!
It's like I didn't even know that.
I mean, I suspected it, but fuck.
Did you end up seeing Solo?
No, because
I didn't end up watching
no
that
one
one.
asked for that movie. Yeah, and it made no fucking sense.
But I feel like I'm not like a hardcore Star Wars fan, but I'm a fan enough that I feel like I still should see it.
Yeah, is it about him smuggling and shit?
If not, well, not really.
I think it's like the origin stories, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is.
Okay, I don't. Okay, but maybe some people are like Harrison Ford fans. I don't know.
But he's not in that movie.
Well, they would remember the original one and hope to get there,
Well, it just didn't start off
this way to be different this time.
Okay, it just didn't start off correctly because they shot most of the movie with these two directors, the guys that did the Lego movie, and they scrapped it and then hired Ron Howard to basically reshoot the entire movie, and that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Shit, I want to watch that other movie.
But it's like, did you want to know where Han Solo got his blaster?
Yeah. No.
This tells you. Like, did you want to know exactly what he said to fucking what's his fuck to get the like? You don't want to see him winning the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Not really. You want to see what he does. Like, you want to see like a little blip in time where he's pulling off some pirate shit in space.
Yeah,
you want to see him like being a hard ass, him and Chewie being best buds.
Yeah.
Buddy, that's what you want. You want a buddy cop comedy,
like
outline. Yes,
I think it'd be actually better maybe if you like combine like Paul Blart and then like Han Solo. Maybe that would be
okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty good.
Blart Solo.
Han Blart, space fart, bro.
Okay.
Well, fuck you. I'm trying.
You gotta try.
All right. So Ryan, you're a bassist.
Sure.
Yes.
Some would even say
Slap at the bass.
Oh man, I actually had not seen that movie until like I don't know, like a couple months ago. Kelsey like rings me for all these movies. They're like, "Oh, I can't believe you haven't seen like this movie or this movie and this movie." Like Titanic, hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen a lot of stuff. So I finally saw whatever movie that was.
I Love You, Man.
Okay, that one. Yeah,
that's so funny. They love Rush.
Yeah, I'd never actually seen that movie until like recently. Yeah. So
that's just fun. That's a bro comedy.
I was aware of the terrible slap at a bass thing though.
Oh, it's pretty excruciing.
It's terrible.
That's why it's great. Because
it's
he
not
keeps
great.
going.
Oh, it's so bad.
Well, it's such a genius moment in comedy, though. To just, like, I really enjoy it when people, like, they're like, I'm making you uncomfortable. Yeah, especially that. And I guess Paul Rudd's just good at it. Because, like, that. Did you ever see Wanderlust with him and Jennifer Aniston? Where they go to, like, the hippie commune?
I don't know, man, maybe.
It's
just like I had.
He has, like, this scene in front of a mirror where he's just going. It's so weird. And he does that kind of slap at the bass thing, but he's like, my dick. And it's rough.
Yeah,
but that's
very awkward to get through.
But it takes guts to be able to do that shit.
Yeah, Sure.
To stare yourself in the face without breaking and do that so long with a crew of like 15 people behind you laughing their ass off.
Yeah.
My favorite part of watching like the things like Rush Hour always did in all those movies, and then just like a bunch of interviews you watch. They're like, oh yeah, the best part were always like the bloopers, the outtakes. Like he was trying to nail this part, but nobody could keep their straight face. That was always my favorite part of any of those. Those kind of movies.
They end up losing some of the best lines because they can't hold it together during when you watch it.
Well, people like what show was it that they just stopped writing lines for Robin Williams? He just came up with such good shit on the spot.
I don't know.
Would that have had to have been Mork and Mindy, or was it like?
I feel like it was, because I feel like it was real old school, so it must have been Mork and Mindy. But I feel like there was a story that they just stopped writing lines for him because he was just so good at it. But everybody had trouble keeping up because he was a comic genius. So
that and cocaine.
Well, I think he had a good quote about cocaine too. That's like God's way of telling you make too much money or something weird. So
oh shit! If you have a cocaine problem,
He also had a good bit in one of his routines. It was like talking from a Native American's point of view. He was like, cocaine, it's our gift to the white man. You take our land, we give you monkey for you back. And that was like his bit about cocaine.
Oh shit, it's good.
Gift to the white man.
My guess was like, Miss Doubtfire? Did he stop writing for him? And he just like got into
Miss
it.
Doubtfire loved cocaine. Why else would somebody be crazy enough to dress up in like a dress and like lie to the ex-wife and babysit kids and
you got to sit in 5 hours of makeup every morning just
and then
to
you
go to
almost
work.
kill the guy. Remember when she puts the pepper in the thing and this
dude.
remember that was
trying to sabotage that family for real.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
A psycho dude. Bro.
While trying to be the host of a kids show, remember that was like another little subplot.
She tried to take out. She almost took out James Bond.
That's right.
Robin Williams almost killed James Bond.
That you heard it here first.
Arguably, I mean, in my opinion, the worst James Bond.
Yeah.
I like Sean Connery, but
exactly.
Michael Moore what's his name?
Not Michael Moore. Roger Moore.
Roger Moore.
He only did one of them, I think.
I was like, Michael Moore.
Oh no! What was
that?
Yeah, Michael Moore, the fat guy, the fat guy that makes
I watched Halloween
documentaries
last night, so I'm still thinking Michael Myers.
Yeah,
just heard it in my sleep. It was on when I went to sleep.
Okay, it was okay. So Toby gets lulled to sleep by graphic murder.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Right? I guess. Actually, I had a gig last night with some folks, and the guitar players they're married, and they fell asleep watching the remake of It. So she was like, I didn't, I had a fucking terrible time sleeping. He's like, I slept fucking great.
Yeah.
No, kept waking up to that clown.
I can't do that, so I can't watch I like scary movies now. I wasn't before, like, Kelsey and I got together, but she's really into him, so I'm like, I'm not, like, scared or whatever, I ain't like that, but I was just like...
you kind of scared, though. You sound scared.
Sometimes they are scary, man. Sometimes they're fucking scary.
Like what? What's, like...
Oh man, like the real like psychological ones. That's I don't
psychological
like
thrillers.
The slashers and all that blood saw crap. Like I ain't into that. That's not scary. But ones that like really gets in your head and like
did you
fucks
know
with
about Delirium? It has Eric from that 70s
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace. Dude, that is a good psychological thriller.
He's schizophrenic and he inherits this house after his dad dies, and he's like in his dad's house mansion.
It's really cool.
It's on Netflix.
All right. I might have seen it. We've watched a lot of horror movies on Netflix.
Dude, that's becoming my favorite genre just because of like how well they can mesh drama, action, comedy, and horror, and it doesn't seem out of place. They can't go to an end that seems weird.
There was one. What was it? It was where the guy is like, if they're in England and there's this really old house, and they learn that there's this guy like living in the house and the walls basically, but it turns out he's like the good guy, and there's some other crazy shit going on. I don't remember what it's called.
Living in the walls.
That kind of even calls back to Delirium a little bit.
But anyways, it was just like you said. It's like it gets you. It's scary, but there's like these nice comic elements into it that like lighten it up just a little bit. Like when you have the really dark chocolate cake, but then they put that nice little bit of like vanilla cream on it, and you're just like, oh yes, I needed that like light flaky, creamy like something.
Flaky, creamy fucking vanilla shit.
Love that clip, man.
Give it to me.
I like eclairs, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, you just described an eclair inside out, basically.
Yeah. Well, I had a really nice eclair the other day, so it was just like
On your mind.
it's on my mind. So
I want another one of them.
Yeah. Shout out to Old Europe in Asheville, North Carolina. That place is dope.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the Godiva
Some
cheesecake,
baklava
y'all.
and shit.
They do.
I like baklava. It's pretty good.
Got good macarons.
Biscottis, bro?
Dude, I'm into that.
I'm
Any
into that
treat
shit. That's
you can
flaky
get-
as fuck.
Anything you can get at a coffee shop, I'm pretty much fucking into.
I'm hard about this pastry shit. I'm like flaky as
I
shit.
go hard on these pastries. What you know about strudel, man?
Oh fuck yeah, strudels is where I'm at. I really love a good muffin,
Those are classy.
especially if you find a place with the giant muffins.
Oh, that's the one, man.
Yeah. Like a banana nut.
Actually, though, but you remember the bags
the
of like
lame ones.
little.
you square, dude.
No, whoa.
Don't hate on banana nut.
Defended banana nut.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We just fist bump on this side.
but it's not my favorite. Given a choice, I really like blueberry, but the
Oh,
lemon
yeah.
poppy, if you catch me at the right moment.
Oh, lemon poppy.
But like, I gotta whatever's gonna go best with the coffee, though.
Right.
So usually it's that blueberry.
Yeah, that dark
Yeah.
Colombian, and you dip the blueberry in it a little bit.
Just about anything but French roast. French roast is all right, but it can be a little bitter for me. So
Yeah.
other than that, I'm cool with any coffee too.
A little like burnt taste.
How you feel
Oh
about
no,
it?
I'm not into that. I played this Sunday gig. I'm not gonna talk a lot about it. It's just that it's weird, and man, sometimes they'll give you free coffee in the morning, and but man, sometimes it tastes like burnt popcorn, and sometimes you'll smell it. So the way the place is laid out, there's like the front door, and like little atrium, and then there's like the fellowship. Whatever, gather
hell
here,
yeah.
hang out, and then they got the big sanctuary and shit over here, and then where I sit is like way in the corner of that, right? And sometimes you will smell this burnt popcorn from way the fuck over here in the kitchen, and you know that you're still gonna drink a couple cups of it because it's you need it because it's like 9 in the morning, and you're like, fuck this, I hate.
Who's
all
the
of
fuck? You're like, just let
That's
me
why
go
I like
brew it. Let me
No, I
go
like
brew the
that.
coffee.
No, what was worse was sometime the coffee was particularly bad this day. It was one of those like smell the popcorn, burnt popcorn on the other side of the building, and they're like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah, the mayor or ex-mayor, whoever the hell it was, I guess ex-mayor, whatever. But I was like, yeah, he made the coffee today. I was like, well shit, I hope he ran the city better than you can make freaking coffee because it was terrible.
I like that cold
Burn.
brew because it's the slow cold brew because it doesn't have that burnt taste. It's so smooth, goes down real nice.
Gets you real jacked up though if you're not like careful
If you-
about
yeah,
how much
it's easy to
cold
drink.
brew you have.
Get a little jittery.
Yeah,
Have to pee a lot, and then when you don't have to pee, you still have to. You feel like you have to pee.
it's those nerves, man. They're like, you're
Dude,
all
what venues are in Asheville now? They still have the orange peel?
Oh yeah, dude,
right?
that's like a whole thing, man. All sorts of
Yeah.
people come through there. Thundercat came through a few months ago.
Oh,
I didn't
dude,
unfortunately get to go.
that
I had
was-
some other stuff going on, but wasn't able to make it.
Oh, I
but
love him so much.
I heard that the sound was actually like not great. It was actually I've heard a lot that just that show in particular, but every sound guy I've talked to, they say that room in particular is just real hard the way it's laid out to get it sounding right. But yeah, it's still there. They got a bunch of killer acts.
I've seen the Disco Biscuits there, but they sound bad everywhere. So
Yeah,
They
I'm not
just
into
have
those
that
guys
kinda-
at all.
trash garage sound.
Yeah,
like,
with lots of money.
Yeah.
And
Trash
lots of
frat
pills.
jam.
Trash frat. That's cool. That's a good one. But yeah, they've got a bigger venue than that too. The U.S. Cellular Center. My wife and I and a couple friends of ours went and saw Alt J there.
Oh shit!
I'm not like a huge Alt J fan, but I gotta say, like
That's
that
fun,
production was amazing.
Yeah.
Like the lights, everything synced up, and their drummer was a badass. You could tell he was like holding back a little bit, like a
Yeah.
true pro, but you could
Yeah.
just tell that dude was
In the
like
pocket.
holding it down. But I mean, he was like, stretching it out because it's only 3 people: a dude on keys, a dude guitar and sings, and then the drummer. And then I guess the keyboard guy sings too. And they've probably got some tracks and shit, but it's just 3 dudes. But this guy was holding it down. He was the show for me, so it was cool. And we were like way up top in the back, which honestly I thought was the best seats because you could see the entire production and like, you're like holy shit, and see their
It's like you don't
massive
want to
crew.
like sit right in front when you go see a movie.
yeah. That's
You
like
know?
the worst
Yeah.
seat.
Yeah.
But
Fuck
The
those
last one.
people.
it depends on what the show is, because Kelsey got to be front row for like David Byrne when he came through.
Now see, I'd do that.
That I would do that too.
I'd be like, just look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me the
Yeah.
whole time. Look at me, you crazy fucker.
Just gotta see those eyes.
She did. She got to
Starry
lock eyes for a little bit with David Byrne, so she got to walk a little bit.
That's
So
what's up. Did she play violin?
that's how we met.
Okay.
We were in orchestra in college.
Yeah.
We taught an after-school program for little kids.
That's awesome. That's
was
a
fun.
great way to meet. And your whole family too, right? Your mom and dad. Your mom's a singer.
Yeah, he just plays a little piano.
Yeah.
And then my dad's
Amazing pianist.
Yeah, he's a
right?
piano player.
Yeah. Got it all in the blood.
Yeah, so what's being Ryan Crabtree like?
What's a day in the life?
Well, no, tell us who you're playing with now.
Well, I still do opposite box,
Okay.
so that's why I'm here in town.
I'm gonna have to cut that.
Oh. For real?
Yeah.
No, he can say it, right?
I can't say the... Oh, I see. That's why I am heading to meet them, because we're hitting a show in Alabama tonight.
Hell yeah.
So I'm just swinging through here for now. And anyways, yeah, so do that. And then there's a group in Asheville called the Paper Crowns. It's sort of like a... it's not really like... I mean, there are, like, jams, but it's not like a definitive jam band. They've got, like, song structures and some other cool stuff. But
Yeah.
they're a cool group.
I like to hear that. Yeah.
It's cool. I think they've got some stuff out there, but we're trying to, like...
Is it more like indie style?
No,
like,
it's not like... It's more like blues
Okay.
and rock and some... They're big deadheads, so, like, some of that, like, kind of creeps
Okay.
up a little bit.
So a little bit kind of like Shopty.
Paper crowns.
Less...
That's bad.
I was gonna say esoteric, but
Yeah, but you hit it on.
no, like it's. I mean, it's just a little different. It's everybody kind of does their thing, but I do some stuff with them. I got this like Sunday morning thing at this like weird religious science center.
Oh
deal.
shit.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Religious science.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
strange. They believe that germs don't exist.
Chicken plus egg equals the
Oh,
Lord.
is that like the Christian
No,
science?
like the Lord is
scientists?
inside. It's not the Lord. There's a spirit that is in
Oh.
all of us. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're the all one thing and one
Okay.
is all.
Yeah, I've heard of Christian scientists that don't go to doctors. 'Cause
No.
they think prayer can heal all diseases.
They do think
That's
that
not
prayer
science.
does a lot, but it's
You can't just add science to the name.
It'd be science. That's not science.
Yeah.
so. But, anyways, the money's green,
Right.
and I don't feel bad really talking bad about them because I know they're not gonna. Specifically not going to watch this.
Yeah.
But,
Oh yeah, for sure. No,
by the time they find it, I'm going to be long gone.
there's only one
Unless
person
they
that
get you.
listens to this, and they live in fucking. Oh shit! I fucked it up. Let's see. They live in.
Who knows?
Oh fuck, Toby, you got to help me out here. Where's the Timbuktu? No.
Albuquerque was always a big Bugs Bunny go-to.
Okay.
Like anytime they mention a city, it's
Yeah.
Albuquerque.
Well, he took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So yeah, we only have one guy that watches this show, and he lives in Albuquerque, so it's fine.
It's Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. No, it's
That's the
not.
only fan you need. Like sometimes you get on like your Instagram or whatever, and you're like, "Oh man, my hero liked my photo."
Fucking Bugs.
That's how I feel. I'm like, "Oh man, Bugs Bunny's my one follower. Like that's all I need."
That's all you ever need in life.
That's all you ever need, man. I think that was the Jersey.
She's
Devil.
going
I know.
crazy.
My dog's having a fit in there.
How many dogs you got? You just got the one, or do you have two?
Two. Got a pit and a husky. That's one of them.
All right. Well, you're also doing your own solo stuff now.
Yeah, I just kind of. I've been like writing the material for a while. I'm still finishing up record number 1, but I had the first performance of it this previous Monday at the Asheville Bass Hang, which, as I said earlier, it happens twice a year,
Yeah.
and the one in the fall has performers, usually 3 or 4. And this year, I was a performer. Another cat talked about like really cool like studio secrets involving bass.
Cool.
Here's what you need to think about if you're a bass player and you're in the studio. Things that will really help. And then they had this other upright guy from Boone named Adam Booker, was killer. Did some jazz, did some classical. Also did a Tom Waits tune, and it was awesome. He filmed it. I gotta hit him up about
What
that
tune
footage.
was it?
What song did he do? Oh man, it was a real weird one. They kind of had like a weird like slurchy feel to
Okay.
it. There's that word
shit.
again.
That sounds like 3 or 4 of them. But
Yeah, it sounds like 3 or 4. I know, but man, I can't remember. The lyrics were just all over the
Yeah.
place. Something about killing something.
Oh, is it the sweet little bullet from A Pretty Blue Gun? That sounds boom,
Like a sweet
dum,
little
dum,
boy.
dum, dum.
From a plate of blue.
I don't know, but it was really cool because he did the raspy voice. He was also had like a cold, so it like really added to the ambiance of it. And then he had the upright going. It was good. And then they had finished off with this guy named Taylor Lee, who lives in Wilmington, I think. He lives in North Carolina somewhere. Sorry, Taylor, I don't remember where you live. But he was killer, man. That dude sounds just like Jaco Pastorius with his like own take on it. But dude's killer. He had this badass guitar player, man. That dude was fire. And then he had 2 drummers, which was really cool. This one guy named Bill Berg, who knew like all these old jazz cats from back in the day. Because I played this Alan Holdsworth tune. He's like, man, I knew the actual bass player that was on that record. Like, oh man, that's crazy.
Damn.
And then the other guy, I don't remember what his name was.
You're in bass Hollywood.
Oh man. But the other guy was Willie Nelson's drummer. I mean, he's like retired now, but he was Willie Nelson's drummer for like forever. And he looked like he would be Willie Nelson's drummer too, but man, that guy would like sit behind the kid and had jazz chops like a motherfucker. Like,
Damn.
And so the 2 drummers, man, they were on opposite sides of the stage, had never rehearsed, just only like talked about the gig before like they basically started. And man, you wouldn't know. You'd have thought that these guys like shed in their basement every day. They were just like in sync. It was super cool to watch because not a lot of people pull off the 2 drummers thing.
Right.
Usually I'm like pretty anti 2 drummer. It's a little like popcorn for me, you know. Oh, that's weird.
I
You
feel
get the
like
idea.
they should have different pieces in their kit. And it would sound fine all the time.
No,
right?
these guys had like 4-piece kit, snare, kick, 1 tom, 1 4-tom, some cymbals, hi-hat. They had like the identical kit.
Did it just sound very circular?
Man, no, it just sounded. If you closed your eyes, you'd have thought one guy was working real hard, and then you open your eyes, and it's 2 guys who are like doing the same job, but they're doing it in. I don't know. They're doing it in such a great minimalist fashion that they can both shine through, but really let who's soloing or like whoever's like holding it down, like really like take full effect of like the rhythm and the drive and everything. It was just really cool to watch. So that was cool. And then they always raffle off a bunch of prizes and stuff. I ended up winning an XL T-shirt, which I'm a medium, so that's a little handy for me, and a set of strings for a 5-string, which I don't play. But Kelsey had already left by that point, but her single little raffle ticket and a couple, 100 or so, won this nice like $600 vacuum tube preamp that's out in my car.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah!
Yeah, I used it on a gig last night. It sounds so good.
Tube.
Yeah, it's by a company called Arkham. In this particular model, it's called the Bullet, and they take one of those 30 caliber like bullet boxes, that you can get at like flea markets or Army Navy stores, and you can open it up and you remove the lid. And he built the preamp like right into it. So you just pull the cord out and plug it in, and when it doesn't actually come out, it's like screwed into it. So when you're done, you just put the
That's wicked.
30 caliber lid back on, and you're carrying around this like 30 caliber box.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. So shout out to Arkham Sound because that thing's awesome.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, it saved me like $600. So thankfully she doesn't want to use it. So
Yeah.
Well, Ryan strong-armed his way in here to play some music.
I don't know how to use words, but apparently I've been using some. So
Yeah.
do them a cover.
You've actually done really fucking well.
Thanks, man. We can keep going this way. I don't have to,
Well, no,
should
I
have
mean, we've
always-
naturally gotten there.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna try our first little NPR knockoff.
Circle death.
Circle table.
Dinner table.
Yeah.
Dinner table jams.
Yeah.
Why not?
All right.
So what's this first one called?
So this first tune is it's called "The Gamer," because I guess maybe not a lot of people knew because not everybody I knew had the same like tastes I did, but I really like video game music and like nerd shit. Into that. So, anyways, this tune I was like messing around on a keyboard, and I found this really cool patch that just like immediately sent me to this weird video game world. And, sometimes you just have tunes that just sort of come fully formed in your head, or like you get this like, oh no, this is sort of like, maybe not fully formed, but you're like, this is, I hear it, I see it, it's there. And that was how I kind of felt about this one. It's called The Gamer, and it's sort of meant to take you through like a video game.
Okay. Take us on a fucking odyssey, bro.
All right, let's see if I can hold it together.
Don't fuck this up.
My pedal board's over here.
Pink Floyd song with the dog bark.
That's
that
cool. I like
was
Pink Floyd.
awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking incredible.
Yeah, that was
Oh yeah, thank you. I haven't played today, so I'm warming up as I'm going along here. So
That was really good. It gives me a real snarky puppy vibe.
cool. I like them too.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
they're awesome.
Cool. Yeah. So that's supposed to like take you through a video game.
Yeah.
Have you you should
Make a video game.
yeah, well you
Video game. It's expensive.
no, what you should do is you could sync up you have a video game that you like to play, like a side scroller maybe,
Oh,
and then
that's-
make that the music video for it.
that's a good
like a
idea.
You can
playthrough.
hook up the bass as the
That's a good
controller
idea.
to a video game.
I'll make it look like it because that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Make a piece of video game controller.
But
Oh man, I do have this. I'll show you guys later because it'll take a second to set up. But I found this program. It's called Jam Origin, where you don't need like a pickup or like a pedal or anything like that. You can plug directly into your interface, and it loads up as like a MIDI track. And you can
also
load
a bass.
Yeah, and
Dude,
so you can.
I was about to ask if that exists.
It totally exists.
Okay,
It totally
so it just
exists.
takes the tones and turns them into a MIDI.
Yeah, that's exactly like what it does. It's like, I mean, there's still like a little tracking issue because it's to MIDI and you're going through. You can send it that way. Going through
If
an
you're out of
interface.
tune a little bit, it'd be hard for it to pick up.
Yeah, like if you you'll like here in Ableton, like I'll record something with like the MIDI capability, and I'll go back and look at it, and you'll see that there are all these like little tiny tones that you don't actually hear, like when you're listening back to it, But when you look at what was recorded, you're like, oh man, there's all these like random things because it'll pick up, string
Yeah.
scrapes or like whatever is like something different. It kind of does okay with like pitch bending, but it's still really cool because if you're like, oh man, there's this cool synth sound, but I can't play it that fast, but I can play it on guitar, and if you can play it, you can kind of go back and like delete the little tiny notes, or
Right,
like, well, that note got cut off for whatever reason, you'll just like draw that note longer. So I've used that a couple times, just sort of be like, trying to get this here, but I don't know how to I don't want to figure all this out on keys.
Right.
So like, yeah, because I had a part in one tune that had a. Where's all my sound? Oh, I had my volume pedal down. And I had my delay on. But I had one tune that had these chords like.
Yeah, I feel that.
Feel that.
Not that chord. But you get the idea. It was like some chords that I didn't want to figure. I liked the voicing there,
Right,
and I didn't want to sit there and figure it out on the
Right,
keys.
so it takes
and
so long.
sometimes, yeah. I have another tune called X=1 that I had all these changes, and that I did have to sit down. I'd play one chord, and then I would play the second chord, and then I would play the third chord and the fourth chord, and however many chords there were, whatever licks, and I would have to go back and delete the space and line that part up, and it took forever, but it sounded fine once I got it done. But it was I didn't know about that program at the point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, dude, I like that.
yeah,
check that out.
I'll show it to you. Jam Origin though.
Okay. Jam
and there's MIDI guitar and there's MIDI bass, and there's slight differences between them. I think MIDI guitar is actually polyphonic, so if you're trying to play chords, that's the one, but it doesn't track below what's the lowest note on a normal guitar. So like an E, which would be right there, that's your lowest note on a guitar. Likewise, MIDI bass, it's monophonic. You can only play one note at a time, but it doesn't track below what is normally the lowest note on a bass, which would be the E. So it doesn't track anything. Like once you play anything lower than that on guitar, or so if you detuned your guitar, it just won't pick it up at all.
So this is just a plug-in?
Yeah. Well, it's also a standalone application. Like you can just open it up on your desktop and just jam around on it if you're just trying to get an idea. And it's got some built-in sounds.
How much is it?
$100,
Okay.
I think.
Okay. That's still
You'd have to look. It's really not that for what it does. It's really not that expensive,
Right.
especially if you're really trying to do some cool expressionistic shit, whatever. It's super cool. I dig it. a lot.
I've kind of turned over to MIDI for everything, just for the clean up thing.
For sure.
I even play all my key stuff. I play on there, and I just quantize that look. It's just that takes the
easy.
humanization out of it. Basically.
A little of that is nice. I try to when I record my stuff. I mean, obviously, there are parts that are you can definitely tell. Oh, that's a loop for sure. That's just the nature of anything that's electronic. But I always go back, and even though it'll be basically the same bass line this time. This A section, this A section, this A section all have the same bass line. I will play them separately, record them individually. So it's not oh, I played the A part perfectly, I'll just copy and paste that.
Yeah.
Even if I got it perfect on that take, I will do everything I can to
Still
get the
do it,
perfect
yeah.
take on the second time.
Yeah.
So it just has that like organic feel. Same thing I do with the drums. I'll put the loop in and then deal with going through the creation process like 90% with just like those whatever loops, and then I go back and cut up almost like every bar as I need to, and I go back and add all these extra hits. And so I start off with like 1 or 2 drum tracks, and I end up with like, I don't know, 8 or 9 drum tracks with like one drum track is like a whole actual drum set loop, and then another track is usually another kind of drum set loop that I've like done some weird EQ or something to take out certain frequencies, and then 7 other tracks are just like hits and licks and things that I've pre-programmed in there, and then you'll go back and cut up the original stuff. So try to make everything as organic, even with MIDI. So.
Dude, I'm gonna send you some music. I want you to see what I've been doing.
Toby makes trap music now.
Oh man, everybody's making trap music.
Yeah, well, it's hip hop and shit. I've just been rapping a lot.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah,
I wish I could rap.
I love
you know?
words, and that shit is so fun.
Yeah, dude.
But I want you to see where it is and kind of. Fucking, I'll throw some money at you to lay down some licks on it, whatever.
Yeah, I'm into that. I'll do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually doing some stuff with Ryan Long, doing the opposite box thing. He's he likes to make hip hop beats. That's sort of like his like, you know, everybody's sort of got their side thing that doesn't fit into their like main thing. You know, so opposite box is like prog rock, whatever the fuck. And then there's like, well, I also like to make these like R&B hip hop beats. You know, don't really fit into the show so well, but. We got, you know, a friend of ours is Lily Hayes, which is one of Isaac Hayes' daughters. So she laid down some vocals on this track that he was kind of working on. And her girlfriend's a rapper. And we know some rappers in Tennessee that, you know, are going to probably put like a verse down or 2 on it. But he sent it to me, and I laid some bass. And I got this cool pedal here that's this like octave thing. But what you can do is you can change the settings. So hold this, and you get this really nice, this beautiful
like
sub bass tone. It's kind of hard to hear, you know, but once you like put it down and like jack it up, you get this, you know, so it's a lot of fun. So I lay that on everything. On actually all my tracks, there's always a sub bass track. Everything, there's always a sub bass track.
Just the way it ought to be.
In the car.
Yeah. So there's always like 4 bass tracks too. There's a bass, there's a sub bass, there's usually 1 or 2 auxiliary bass parts that are doing chords or something that's affected, you know.
Dude, my brother had huge subs in his car all the time, and you'd get out and like feel like you just got off a treadmill. Yeah. He was so shooken.
I had a friend that
shooken.
Oh man, it was like it was the good Soundtribe era. It was like 07. Yeah, he was good Soundtribe era, and I had this buddy. He had this tiny little truck. Dude named Thomas. He lives in Florida now, I think. But man, he drive.
Kneeds?
Yeah, the Kneebler. But he would drive around this tiny little truck with a 15-inch subwoofer that was right. You know, it was one of the trucks where it's like driver, center console, and then like nothing in the back except for this 15-inch sub that's right there in your face or like about to hit
just
your head,
fuck in your ear.
Yeah, and we would drive around town listening to Soundtribe and back in the day.
Just fucking
That's
Murph.
the way to do
oh
it.
Man,
yeah, that's still that's some Murph.
Yeah, that was still Murph. I'm, you know,
through the sub too. You're like,
ugh. That was back when Murph was good.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know. Murph sucks.
Before he destroyed himself.
Yeah, I'm not into Murph anymore. I mean, I haven't really been into.
I like her. What's
Atlanta? Atlanta. I don't.
Dude, I've seen her a couple times. She brings out stand up sometimes.
I actually. Kelsey and a friend of hers, and I mean a bunch of other people that I knew. They came and did like 2 nights in Asheville at Pisgah Brewing. There's this like they got this giant outdoor stage where they get like big bands. Soundtribe was there. You know, Dark Star I think does a bunch of stuff there.
That's what's up.
They had Lake Street Dive. That was one that was there. They get like that level of bands. Them. Yeah, they're awesome. So you get that level of bands out there. But anyway, Soundtribe came and did 2 days, and the consensus from everybody was just like. Meh, like all around. So
their time has passed.
Yeah, I listened to their latest record a couple times too, because you know Kelsey was gonna go, so she was like, "Well, you know, I'm not really hip." My friend just was like, "You know, I got this extra ticket. You know, you can go. I had a gig or something like that." So I was like, "Yeah, you should go. Should have fun." And you know, we listened to their latest record and some other stuff, just sort of like through the day, and like, "Oh, what are they up to?" And it's just like, you know, had moments where like that's cool, but it's like, you know, again with the problem with like loop-based music is that, you know, if you don't like alter the loop, or if you don't like put a little extra that human element in it, then it just straight up sounds like, you know, it's the same thing over and over. That's just sort of how I felt.
Yeah.
You know, there was
We shouldn't lose that human.
no solos anymore. You know, it's just all like,
that is sad.
Here's the loop. Here's the loops on top of the loops.
Yeah.
Here's the loops on top of the loops. Here's us breaking down here with like a little bit of this loop left, but here's like some extra loops and some different loops. But here's the same loop that was still in the beginning, and now we're gonna go to the first loop again.
Yeah.
That's actually been going on the entire time.
See,
you know,
I think they're
that's
using
how I
it
felt
for
about
a
it.
Hell
trance. They're using it for like a trance aspect, you know. Like
That's cool. I mean, but it goes
I think
with
that's
the
what it
light
is.
show. You know,
Yeah.
I get it. You know, I get it. It goes with the show, but
Well,
No, I
you
think
also get stuck at a certain point, I think, if you don't keep yourself, like, mentally elasticized enough to continue to grow,
yeah,
you know?
totally. You gotta keep. I don't know. You gotta keep pushing it, man. I just feel like they found their niche, and they found like
Yeah.
they're complacent. Like,
It's the musical equivalent of being typecast.
Yeah, I still
guess,
think
you know.
hip hop and pop should have solos and that thinking space.
oh
Like,
man, you
that's-
ever watch videos like Bruno Mars and shit?
Yeah, it needs some instrumental time though. I do agree. Like that can't be
I mean, do
taken
you
out
watch?
of the.
I mean, like
genre.
Bruno
Do you
Mars.
watch it, though?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's an
Because
entertainer.
I mean,
He
well,
is an
he'll
entertainer.
let his band like, you know, do their
what
thing
that
and
was.
stuff. You know, so
Yeah,
I think
mean,
there's-
he's the instrument then, I guess.
I'm kind of making R&B pop music now.
hell yeah, I'm into that. I'm into a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I get
Yeah.
around.
That's what's up.
It's fun. I enjoy it. It's different. I still add in improv solos, and I try to add that element in because that's where I came from, and that's
Yeah, you gotta be true to you.
Keep
you
it
know.
off the cuff.
I took a lesson with this guy. His name's Robert Lewis, but everybody calls him Bubby.
okay.
Bubby.
Yeah, man. Bubby. Dude,
Oh,
is-
like from Flapjack? Did you ever watch Flapjack?
I don't know, Flapjack.
It was a cartoon.
No, I don't know. That.
Cartoon. I'm a grown man. It's a cartoon.
Hey, I still like cartoons. That's okay.
Captain Knuckles.
But anyways, he was like Snoop Dogg's bass player. He does a bunch of stuff in Japan. Anyways, he's just like killer. And I sent him some of my stuff because I had a couple lessons, and I was just sort of like trying to get some compositional feedback and like, does it sound like shit? Should I stop? You know, I don't know. I've never done anything before.
Approve me.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even that. It was just like, dude, I've never done anything like this before, so I have no idea what it's like to have like original music. You know, I don't really know what that's like.
That's
So,
awesome, dude. I love that shit.
Thanks, man. But anyways, he said that I mean, if you really want to be successful, you know, the most successful people he ever knew, you know, were different. You know, they did what what was true to them and stuff like that. He's like, man, you got all these rappers out right now who are making, you know, a high dollar, you know, everything, but they all sound the same. Everybody's doing triple it, triple it, triple it,
Yeah.
triple it, triple it, triple it.
Triple it,
You know,
triple
triple
it.
it, triple it. Yeah, they're all, and that's what we said. We're like, oh yeah, like the triple it, yeah. You know, it's like what everybody sounds like. And maybe they're making $1 million every other day right now.
I like
but
making some weird shit.
in
though.
3
I like
years,
adding
nobody's
some
not gonna know
alien
anybody.
Voices and I still weirdly take from like Andre 3000 in his weird days. Like I love his weird alien shit.
Yeah, I
Like,
wish
he talked
Andre
about
would
outer
come out with
space and
another
shit. I
record.
love talking about universal things. You know.
He's gone too crazy.
Yeah, well, I think another part, and this was another thing even Bubby and I talked about, was specifically Andre 3000 was like, I mean, you know, he does some cool stuff, but you know, if he puts out anything now, everybody's gonna be like, man, but the last record you put out was like The Love Below. You know, and that record was awesome. You know,
Yeah.
Speakerbox Love Below
That
was
one's
like fire.
home.
Yeah,
I call
so
that
it's like,
home.
man, how do you top your masterpiece? You know,
Yeah.
so.
Well,
Big
he should
Boy
just
has
he
tried.
should not
Or
do anything.
it's maybe it's not
trying.
that like it was his masterpiece. Maybe he's got tracks in his studio that he's like, nah,
Yeah.
this is beautiful to me, but you know,
He should change the name.
Everybody
Do it under a different
around-
name so it doesn't, so it's like
yeah,
not a
but that's
sequel.
like, that's his, you know, I
Yeah.
guess that's
Yeah.
his brand though. That's like his whole. Is it? You know, that's him.
Trey Thou.
So, but you know, it's like everybody's. Even if he's not going to compare it to, you know, Love Below, everybody around him
Yeah.
is going to, you know,
Like they shouldn't
all
have done
lessons are
Ocean's
gonna compare
8. They should have done just a heist
They should have
movie.
just stopped.
Brand new heist
Stopped.
movie, though, right? Yeah.
Well, no, you could have just made it something else. You could have called it anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just running with it, you know.
With
I get
the
it because
franchise,
it was
yeah,
popular. I
yeah.
get it. I loved Ocean's 11. Every time it
Yeah,
came on TV,
dude.
I watched that
Right.
shit. It was cool. It was a good one.
Anytime you're at home in the middle of the day watching TNT
Yeah.
Ocean's 13.
I think it was also
Or
Comedy
USA.
Central sometimes, you know.
Oh.
I think I find it there sometimes, but yeah, you know.
There's something
FX.
about
Like
watching
both.
a movie on TV with commercials that really kind of depresses me nowadays. Oh, yeah, no, I don't like
I
it.
have nostalgia, like, when I watch it's just like this.
I don't know, man. There's
Down.
every now and then, you know, since I'm on the road a lot, sometimes you'll like end up somebody's house that actually still has cable, you know, and you watch it. And man, sometimes I kind of like commercials because they're
Reminds
these
you of
like
your mom's house.
sometimes not all some commercials are
They've
terrible.
gotten weird.
Well, what they are to me is like it's this perfectly sculpted, like you got to get past like whatever they're selling, like just ignore that shit. But if you look
Enjoy
past
the
all that and you just
cinematography.
listen, it's like this perfectly sculpted like 30-minute you know, it's like a masterpiece for like 30 seconds is what I mean, not 30 minutes, 30 seconds. It's like this 30
Long.
seconds.
It's a half-hour commercial.
ShamWow.
It's like you're at the intermission of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, you know. But,
Oh.
hey, that movie has an intermission,
Sick
so that's why,
reference,
you know.
bro.
Hey,
Okay.
but anyway, we're gone with the
How
main-
about?
Anyways, but yeah, they're like these 30-second, like real sculpted. You know, the music is exactly at this point where the chorus comes in. Exactly
yeah.
at this point where
Oh,
the
yeah.
whatever walks in, and when the product is down, that's the
it's some
exact.
great
like,
manipulation.
it's
Like,
it's
there's a lot
perfect. Like it's
going into
it's a
that.
little, you know, it's a little piece of like 30-second art. You know, so sometimes I like watching it if you can get past the like, man, I really don't need like another set of like freaking spoons or OxyClean or what.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what people sell on TV anymore.
Good
but,
God, these magnetic spoons are great, but they keep sticking to each other.
I like the figuring out the marketing in commercials. That's why I like watching them. Like figuring out what demographics they studied and what they think they like, you know, and like that shit is mean.
I like
little bit, but
trying to
there's a
pick
whole
out.
world, you know.
I like trying to pick out like the really fast run at the end of like pharmaceutical
even-
Oh
commercials.
yeah, it's like
There was
may
something
cause
you may
anal
die.
leakage and death and blah blah blah. And don't ever use it. Blah, blah, blah. That stuff. Yeah,
That's
they get
fine.
paid a lot of money to do that, man. It's like how cleanly can you get all these words out? Because
Yeah.
you got literally like half a second.
Well,
Gotta
no,
get
like,
twisted
I don't
in there.
think no. So they just speed it up.
Okay, didn't know that because I've met people that do talk really fast.
Oh yeah, there are
okay.
people that talk really fast, but it's hard to like
yeah.
yeah.
You just you enunciate your words slowly. We're just gonna
Yeah.
speed it up in post.
Yeah, so honestly, they would probably say it really slow, so it
I
could be
just- I
sped
feel like
up
there's
this
properly.
I feel like you would
Conspiracy in
hear
this
the
world.
difference though. I don't know. I guess I've just
Yeah, it sounds
That
like
people that talk real
It
fast,
doesn't sound like the
they probably do
Chipmunks.
speed it up though a little bit.
You
I
know,
can't
like-
imagine that they
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Why does speeding up?
'Cause, you know,
why
if-
does speeding
if you
up
speed
sounds
up-
make it higher pitched?
Huh?
Why does you know how like when you speed up a sound it changes the pitch of it? Why is that?
Why do that?
Yeah, I don't understand
Well,
that.
some software now, like I use a thing on my computer to speed up and slow down things when I'm trying to learn it called Amazing Slowdowner. That doesn't change the speed.
Even drastic.
Oh yeah, you can
changes?
slow it like way down,
And it won't lower
Yeah,
it.
I think down to like 20% of its
Yeah.
like normal speed.
You
Why
hear
is that
Smash
just a-
Mouth coming through and just
Is
crystal
that just a
clear
flaw
clarity.
in the program then originally?
No,
Like,
that's
we
just
made
the way that program is designed.
Like okay, when you
You
play
can pitch
records,
shift it, though.
When you speed up records, they sound like a chipmunk. You know, it's like
that's got to be something with like analog. I mean, I don't know any of this for sure. I'm just like talking
Tell
out
us
my ass.
as fact. Tell us
need
as
to
fact.
I don't know fact about.
Ryan Crabtree
I
from the
literally-
DeVry Institute of
I literally
Technology.
do
This
not
grinds
know
my gears.
anything for sure. I don't know anything for certain in this world. I don't know anything. I don't even know if I'm really here.
Way to
you know?
cover your ass.
Hey, I don't know.
That's how I feel.
I don't know.
We're Gemini, bro. That's
Yeah.
why. I'm on that same level. I don't
We're
read
actually in a
anything,
snow
but
globe
I like,
right now.
I like imagining
Knew
a
it.
lot of things, but I can't submit to anything. Go on.
Word. Yeah, we're talking about.
Chipmunk sounds.
Oh, right. I think because a record, it's actually cut. It feels smooth, but really it's like all these like ridges and stuff.
Yeah.
When like you cut the wax. So I think when you speed that up, it's got this sort of different versus like a digital file, which doesn't it's all.
it's
digital.
passing the area quicker.
I don't know.
I
Again,
don't understand how the pit. I
don't know, man.
And still, ambulances.
Why don't y'all
baffle
have
me.
Google like right now?
You know?
Okay,
Yeah.
so hey
We
now.
should Google some shit.
Put it in, write it in the comments. Put it in the
Yeah.
comments. Let us know.
But no, okay. See,
Slide into my
ambulances, too,
DMs.
it's
Tell
like,
me.
Don't invite that on yourself.
You know what I'm talking about, though? Oh, the DM goes down. And, anyway. No, yeah, sirens. Why they do that?
That's
Grind
the,
my gears too.
that's the Doppler effect. You're talking about when they get quieter?
No, when they change pitch.
That's the Doppler effect.
when
Doppler
it's
effect.
When
See?
sound's coming towards you and when sound's leaving,
That's the Doppler effect. There's like a whole like
I don't like that.
diagram. Well, that's physics. That's hardcore shit you can't change.
So if an ambulance went past you and it changed pitch already and then it stopped and backed up, so
well,
it'd
then
be
it would
coming
go
towards you
beep,
again.
beep,
It'd be
beep, if it backed up.
Okay, turned around. It'd be okay. So wait,
Filibuster your way out of it.
Ambulance leaving one hospital
talking.
at 6:03,
No, I'm
and the
baffled.
other ambulance leaves the hospital at at one
they
point.
make the
Will
same
Toby
pitch?
be too confused to figure out what he's trying to?
I'm gonna figure this out.
His head'll
someday.
explode.
Hey, that's cool. Do it, man. Go for it. I encourage it.
Yeah, but the chipmunk effect. That's what
I don't think it's called the chipmunk
like
effect.
the Alvin effect. That's
Alvin
what I call
effect.
it.
Okay. Alvin.
What was his name? John? Was it just John? No, that was Garfield.
That was Garfield. John Arbuckle, dude.
Oh wow, fuck you, John.
Don't be
Arbuckle.
sleeping on Garfield, dude. That's my shit.
Oh, he sleeps.
Because
Garfield
Zorfield-
always sleeps.
He does. He sleeps a lot.
Yeah.
He fucking-
Hates Mondays.
You give me those fucking enchiladas.
I like lasagna, man. It wasn't enchiladas.
I know. Have you not? Do you watch Rick and Morty?
Oh, I do, but I'm like, I'm not
lasagna.
current. I'm
Okay, well,
not like
there's
current.
Well, no, it's in the first season.
Okay, I mean, like-
Gazorpazorp Field.
I just recently got like
Good
Hulu
God.
that has Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So until then, I had to rely on like hanging out at like somebody who still had cable's house. So that was pretty rare. Usually it was Gable.
Rare.
Gable had cable.
Yeah.
Gable's cable.
Yeah.
Go over to Gable's house to get your cables
Yeah.
out.
Borrow Randy's cable.
Yeah.
Randy.
May we borrow your cable, Randy?
Let me get that Netflix password, Randy.
Oh man, were you on their Netflix? I was on their Netflix for a while.
No, my
like
mom
years.
had Netflix, and we
Okay.
did that. But now I have
just
my
handed
own.
that shit out to
I'm
everybody.
my own Netflix. I'm adult on
Yeah.
that level.
Your
Totally.
parents were so confused. Like,
Why is everyone
you
making
should've
a
purposely
profile?
watched like porn and the Golden Girls or something just to throw them off.
Hey, I like the Golden Girls though. Man, it's good TV.
I've never seen that shit.
Good wholesome
It's good, man.
television.
Yeah.
Gilmore Girls is good too, man. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Just
I like
gabbing.
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grey's Anatomy. That was a
Gabbing.
really good show.
I've gotten really into Supernatural. I've watched all of Supernatural. You should probably get into that.
Okay.
It's good. There's
Okay.
like 14 seasons. You can really nerd out
Jeez.
on it.
All right. Cool. I'm into that. I guess.
What's
We do
that
things.
about?
It's basically like X-Files ish,
Oh,
but it gets into
Skull.
like angels and demons,
okay.
and it's pretty funny.
Okay.
Some pretty hammy acting at points, but it's good. It's pretty self-aware
All right. That's cool. I'm into self-aware.
Like that.
and shit. What else? Have you watched Maniac?
No,
On
somebody was telling me
Netflix?
about telling me about Maniac the other day.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
was like, I really need to
huge
be into that.
advocate of that show.
I'll get into that.
Yeah.
Check that out.
They're really good in it, and it made me realize too that I think that's the first thing they've been in together since Superbad.
Who is they?
Emma Stone and Jonah Hill.
That's right. Yeah.
Their chemistry's really good.
Yeah, you can pass the other.
Joint. Just make a joint.
Are you not smoking on camera now? Is that why you're passing?
No, it's happened. It's already over.
Because anytime, like, I will just superimpose you in hitting it anytime we've tried to pass it to you, so it'll just cut back to the one time you hit
It'll be a
it.
cartoon, like a stick drawing.
Did y'all ever watch? Did y'all ever watch Zio Zio? Where y'all are like nerd enough to know about that?
No, I don't know.
Oh man, I doubt dude makes them anywhere. I think they were made by some like Korean guy or something, Chinese guy. I don't know. They were made by some dude, and it was like the beginning of like Flash animation, and that was like a whole thing on the internet. And basically, they had these like stick figures, and it was really elaborate like fight scenes, and so like stick figure
Yeah,
would come
I
in,
remember
would
stuff like that,
fight
like
the purple and-
stickdeath.com.
Yeah, I guess that was the
Oh,
website.
yeah.
But Zio Zio was
Yeah.
like the actual like name of the main like black stick figure guy that like beat up the purple and the green and the yellow guys and all the other stick figures.
I remember the stick death thing.
Yeah, well that was that guy.
Okay.
That was that guy. Good
awesome,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Those were very,
good throwbacks.
oh yeah. And then
keep
the other
talking
day,
about
the other day, Toby and I were talking about what was it like? Was it JoeCartoon.com, the place that had like Superfly, like Superfly.
I don't remember that one.
E-Bombs?
Like-
E-Bombs World or whatever?
E-Bombs
I feel
World
like
had
it's
it too.
Yeah.
I think they stole it from Joe Cartoon, but it was like, and you could also
that
play.
was some dirty shit when I
Yeah.
was young.
It's,
I don't
yeah,
remember that
dude.
one. I remember Homestar Runner. Were y'all ever into that one? That was like a little more like nice. That wasn't like crazy hardcore like
Yeah.
humor. But Homestar Runner was fun. Had the strong bad emails, the like luchador that would read the angry emails. Y'all remember that one?
No.
No. It's like I'm strong bad. We're gonna read the emails. The emails. It's good stuff. I don't know. It's stupid fun. I don't know. I was 10, whatever.
Yeah.
It was fun for me.
I really enjoyed the Power Thirst.
What's that one?
You don't know Power Thirst? Power Thirst is a good one. It's just like an energy drink, like ad. It's like Power Thirst. It's really good. Power Thirst is crystal meth in a can.
Dude, we should watch a ghost video and see if it's real.
Toby's always trying to press ghost videos, even when it's not ghost episodes. He's always trying to.
There are ghost episodes.
We did an episode of Ghost with Dustin.
Yeah.
Justin
Paranormal.
Ireland?
Yeah.
He still lives?
He lives.
He lives.
He's alive. Yeah.
Word?
He's living.
Okay, well, that's cool. It's good to know that people are still alive, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But
Sometimes people are alive, but
no,
some people are not.
Man.
Um,
From home.
Dead in the eyes.
Oh,
but
that's
yeah,
right.
I always like to watch. I like to watch videos to see if they're real. I like to watch conspiracy.
And I feel like more people listen on the podcast app than on YouTube.
Yeah, so you can't see
they
that
never
shit.
even get to see them.
You just no, bitch, run.
And I try my
Lots
best
of
to
those,
like
lots of runs.
auditorily like describe what's going on as like they're blind.
Described podcast.
It looks like a ghost.
Oh, and it's gone, and I can't see it anymore. And I tried really hard, and I'm really sorry.
It's like the camera went blurry and it was.
Wasn't that like a Family Guy skit where Brian's trying to be like a seeing eye dog and they're in the theater and he's like,
Oh yeah.
it's like, something's happening, she's doing a thing, something, and it's over. And a lot of people look pissed.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it was like.
Oh man.
Do you have another song for us?
Sure, man. If that's where we're at.
Yeah, I'll hear another
Yeah,
song.
we'll-
I like this
yeah.
shit.
All right, sure. I'll skip around my set here. I guess this one it's called Dark Dream Machine.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm weird about like song titles. I don't really like them.
Hey, man.
Except for the gamer, I liked that one for some reason. But
You're
everything
a
else is
peacock, man.
sure. Or I thought I was a dear friend. But, hashtag reference to the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Callback.
Callback.
You like that shit.
Got to think compositionally, man. But yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know what this song's
Comedy comes in
about,
threes.
So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I get throughout the click track here.
Ladies, put your bootstraps on. Yeah.
Goodness
Dude, that
gracious.
shit took me away. I drifted off and felt like I was a little boy again.
Hell yeah.
That was amazing.
Woke up in a pear tree in a
I
meadow.
love that shit.
Hell yeah. Cool. I like that my music takes people
What do you
on like
take from it? There's a lot of breakbeat.
square
there,
pusher, hardcore square pusher.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like my favorite bass player among like Tom Jenkinson is his real name. I know his real name, but I mean that's like untold knowledge or whatever. It's like out there in the world.
Yeah.
But
Is it just him?
yeah, he does. There was one record called Just a Souvenir where I think he had like a live drummer and some other stuff. But and he's got a band that he's toured around with for the last like year called Showbelator 1, where it's him on bass. He's got a guitar player, a keys player, and a drummer, and they all play under like pseudonyms. Like the drummer, I think his name is like Company Laser.
Yeah.
So they all have like weird
Company
names,
Laser,
Square
that's
Pusher,
cool.
Company Laser,
Yeah.
whatever the other guys' names kind of are. So they all wear these masks but
Anonymous
do.
style.
he was like the
Fucking
foremost.
Banksies.
Yeah, it's sort of like that, but it's like musical. But it's all like drum and bass, and he was like a pioneer in like the drum and bass world. And he's like a truly phenomenal bass player, like
Yeah.
so good.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he
man.
actually played bass.
Oh, he
first
plays
off.
like, and you'll hear guitar on his records and some
Yeah.
other like synths and stuff, and he plays like a lot of that.
Okay.
Like his living room is like this homage to every like old synthesizer and
What
like
is the
sequencer.
synth I heard on there? What is that?
Okay, so the way that this is running right now is actually not like the way that the actual like track looks. So like the way that
Right.
this is actually running is you've got track 1 here, which is my synths left and right. So like here we'll break the magic real quick. So here's like you can hear is just synths. And
Yeah.
then, here is like just drums. So
Yeah.
track 2 will just be drums, and then you'll have track 3, which you might be able to hear, but yeah, just the sub bass as like
Yeah.
its own track. Because this particular interface, I can there we go, send out each of those as their own like channel. So if I had a sound guy that I like really trusted or knew, I could be like, well, hey, I can give you synths and drums and all that separately. And then over here, I've got the same thing as a monitor group. So you've got synths, drums, and sub bass, but that's only
This
going
is
to the
Ableton,
headphones.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Ableton Live. See, I'm a Logic guy.
Yeah.
I do not.
I've used Ableton since
no.
college. It's my jam.
See, I started with GarageBand, so
Hey,
I had
that's
to move
cool. I
up
did
to
too.
Logic.
Everybody started with GarageBand.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah,
It comes on every Mac.
and it just was the easiest change.
No, it's a solid program for sure.
Yeah.
But I really like Ableton. So like this doesn't look like anything like my actual tracks
Yeah.
look like. But most of the synths you're probably hearing, if they're not, I use mostly native instrument stuff. So if it's not Absinthe, if it's not FM8, if it's not Massive, it's like this actual keyboard I have at home, and then I
Yeah.
find the patch and like alter it just
Okay.
a little bit. It's just a Core EX50. It's not like a crazy synthesizer. It's just like
Yeah.
a keyboard that has some cool sounds in it, and I just found a way. And then of course you throw anything in Ableton, you can manipulate it in any way possible. So
Yeah.
that's probably what you're hearing is like the keyboard that I played something.
Yeah. No, I heard some cool little solo and
Oh yeah,
moments.
thanks. I did that.
Yeah.
I played the parts.
Bow.
That was me.
Okay, so I have to ask you. I don't know if this is a musical question or not, but
Hold on,
I want to bring
I'll
up.
make it musical.
Okay, I wanted to bring up. It came to mind. So I wanted to make these instruments. Remember that go below and
yeah.
above the hertz of human ears.
Grateful Dead already has.
All right.
Dead did it.
What is that?
Dead
okay,
did it.
Thank you. So tell me about. Okay, so how did they hear the?
Well, they don't hear it.
Well, see,
You
okay,
feel
I go
it.
a
At a
step
certain
further
point, you
in my mind.
just feel it because
Not
you have
at
to
the
think,
wall?
No. They're touring with it now. Actually, it's called like the Beam or some shit. I don't remember what it's called. It's got like a bunch of strings on it, but it's like a giant.
Oh, it's
long-
that thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
And
about.
it's capable.
Yeah.
I think I read a thing about it. It's
it goes
capable of
below. Okay.
making like any frequency basically.
Okay, so they already took care of one step. My second step would be making headphones that could translate it, and somehow.
Well, it's not that you. I mean, you couldn't translate
you couldn't literally hear it. I know it'd be a transposition.
Well, it's just at a certain frequency, you're just only gonna feel it. Like I think the human ears can only hear like.
But
a certain,
so like the babble fish, you remember?
Yeah.
In fucking,
you want to be able to comprehend it.
Remember Hitchhiker's Guide, the little fish that went.
Oh yeah. I finally watched that movie for the first time like a week ago.
Oh goodness,
it's a great movie. I'm so glad I watched that movie before coming here.
But anyway,
I think I'm a sofa.
So, I don't know. I just have the idea of it. I think we could make something that we could actually hear the tones somehow.
You know, they have already made the translator. Google's made a.
What?
I've heard it does all right, but you still have to.
That hears. What is it? Where does it go?
In ear.
Yeah. So it's just a little.
It just in your ear. Yeah. Yep. It's an actual babblefish. Yes.
Damn. Google fish.
Well, we're probably gonna wrap it up. You got to get going soon, don't you?
I think we're meeting around like the 5:30 mark, so I'm still cool. But I know this is whatever y'all got to do. I still got some time, so I'm
okay.
We can still hang out.
Let's watch a ghost video.
God damn it!
Or an alien video, or a superhuman video.
You just watch a video? Like, I don't know. I got one of my cat on my phone. Do you need a video?
After about an hour, Toby starts to get real bored, and you got to put a video on for him.
Hey, that's okay.
That's okay. Question reality.
No, okay. So I have a question. What are some of your favorite like musical movies?
Man, I like Whiplash because it is exactly what music school is like.
Okay.
Whiplash?
No. Why do you say it like that?
Actually, that's not
Whiplash?
true. You really never seen Whiplash?
Not quite my tempo.
Yeah, that's that movie. It's actually I like it because it's a fun movie to watch, but it's nowhere near like what music school is
anything
actually.
like Drumline?
Drumline's awesome. I will watch Drumline every time it is on TV.
Yeah.
Drumline's dope.
I start getting up.
Into that. Nick Cannon's hilarious. No, Drumline's fun because it's just a fun. The music's the soundtrack's killer.
Yeah.
I don't know, like musical movies. Like sometimes, like I mean, you mean movies like Amadeus or shit like that's about a musical person, or you mean
any
Spinal Tap?
Because
however you want.
That's a good movie, but like I mean, to me, like I really like a lot. There are a lot of animes I like, and some of that stuff's got like amazing soundtracks. You know, so like it might not. I mean, in anime, it's about like demons or robots or like whatever the fuck, but the music is dope. So
I've tried to get into anime so many times.
I just gotta get into the right ones, man. You gotta get into the right ones. But
I found a few though.
Music for that stuff's like really awesome. So like I don't know, when I think of like musical stuff, I just sort of think like, well, what movies or shows or whatever like has like killer music on that's in the background, and that's what I really like. But if you mean like actual music or movies that are about musicians and stuff like that,
partly.
I'd
like
that
to know.
Queen
I'd like
movie.
to know yours. Yeah. Are you
know about
interested
that
in
Queen
the
movie?
Freddie Mercury
Which one?
movie coming out?
Oh, I'm really excited about it.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Oh man,
with that stash, that porn stash.
I think I gotta say my favorite is probably the Jocko documentary, just being a bass player. Like that one was really well. Even though Robert Trujillo did it, or Trujillo, or however you say his name. Not a Metallica fan anymore, but he did an.
Gave up on it.
Yeah, I gave up on that like a long time ago after.
Enter my asshole.
Yeah,
What?
But that was a really good one. Although, speaking of Metallica, I will say that Some Kind of Monster, the movie, was hilarious. That was a good view because you see all these like they have who knows how much money. They don't have problems in the world.
That dude got set on fire one time.
Oh man, that's right. He did.
Yeah,
he did. And then somebody else had to fill in.
Pyrotechnist came up.
That's
this
true.
is metal as shit.
Yeah.
He loved it.
But that movie is hilarious because you got these like multi-million-dollar like international rock stars who are just like, I can't be in the same room with him, blah blah blah. And James Hetfield's being a bitch, and Lars Ulrich is being a bitch, and then you got Kirk Hammett. He's just like, I don't really do drugs anymore, and I'm gay, and I like to surf, and I like my life. And you're like,
really?
I love you, Kirk Hammett. You're like, you figured it out. Like, you're good.
You found what you loved.
Yeah,
it's fuck all these
and then
people.
you get you remember in Spinal Tap, what was it, Dr. Bucky or some shit, and they're like, fucking Dr. Bucky, or whatever. They kind of get like a Dr. Bucky to come in and try to like help him with shit. And you're like, you need to sit down and appreciate your blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And they're just like, fuck you and your
like
sweater.
a band therapist. I guess that's a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
I guess that would be a therapist.
Electric Apricot. Back to the band therapist.
keeps
That was
stealing my
not
soul.
Spinal Tap. It was Electric Apricot. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Number one problem in the band therapy area is it keeps stealing my solos. That's always the problem.
You keep taking my solos, man. I
couldn't say it until we were in front of someone, but you just keep stepping on my shit.
I'm a bass player. I'm used to all my solos getting taken, so it's okay. Because I have my own thing where I can play all my notes and all the chords, and it's all good.
Ooh, I'm letting my notes out.
I'm letting my notes out. Yeah, so I've gotten in trouble before.
I feel like your bass
could
be a key to open a very magical, mystical door, and you could be the only one that could play.
Yeah, bro.
To fit the key.
Yeah, we need to petition to get a video game made about you, where you're kind of like the Link analog,
no, I think that
and you transport places by, and you defeat demons.
I'm going
by
a different direction.
laying out.
We should make the video game
fuck
controller
you.
off of the bass.
Well, that could also be a part of it.
Yeah, okay.
You've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, what the hell?
I thought I came here, this was going to be easy. I'm leaving with homework.
No, you're leaving with a fucking new calling.
You're going to be a CEO.
Actually, when I was like really young and was like way more into video games, I was like, oh man, I really do want to design video games. I've got like such great ideas for, Final Fantasy, at the time it'd be Final Fantasy 12, and now we're on like, 15 or 16.
Yeah.
But at the time it would have been Final Fantasy 12. Oh man, I got great ideas for that, but I didn't make video games.
No, see, I was like, CEO, chill, everyone. I don't know where that came from.
All right. But any others? Like, do you dig? Like, did you see that the James Brown biopic?
No,
but
that's really good though.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's okay.
Okay.
Some parts of it are kind of bad.
I never saw the Miles movie. I really want to see the Miles.
Yeah, I never saw that one. Is that Don Cheadle? Who's playing Miles? I feel like it's Don Cheadle.
Somebody famous.
Yeah, some famous motherfucker.
I don't know, man.
Don Cheadle's too skinny.
My favorite's got to be Walk
Miles
Hard.
Davis wasn't like big, man.
He had a little puffy face though. As I remember, I don't know.
I don't know. He had like a pretty stern, strong face.
Stern.
He was, man.
Eat a pussy.
Miles Davis was kind of racist too, man. He hated white folks. Although the best Miles Davis story I ever heard was he was booked to open for 3 nights for Steve Miller Band, I think is what it was, which is a weird mashup in the first place.
For real?
Yeah, and this is when Miles Davis is, of course, he's famous as shit. He's just driving a Ferrari around. He's always in the nicest clothes because he was kind of vain. But he refused to open up for Steve Miller. He's like, I ain't gonna open up for that white blues motherfucker, whatever he said. So he purposely would get to the show so late that it forced Steve Miller to play first, and Miles always headlined. He did that for 3 nights in a row. The promoter fucking hated it, but Miles Davis was gonna do Miles Davis no matter what.
Well,
so.
like, and what are you gonna do?
Thinks it's best Miles Davis. Don't you tell Miles Davis not to be the best Miles Davis to Miles
Don't
Davis.
You
Miles Davis will be late. Miles Davis will play last. Miles Davis will come to your hotel room. No, Miles.
Oh shit. David Cross had a bit about fucking what was his name? It's like Ricky Henry. Ricky Henry was a football player. He's like, always spoke in third person. He would literally do shit like that. Like Ricky Henry just goes out there and be the best Ricky Henry that Ricky Henry would be for all the Ricky Hendersons out there trying to be Ricky Henrys in the Ricky Henry life. It's like used it as Smurf.
Yeah,
It was ridiculous.
I'm kind of in favor when people do that. It's funny to me. So like I don't mind it when people are like, man, I'm just all right, cool, man. You live
your thing.
You live your best life, man.
Yeah, I
you
want
live
that.
your best life.
Just trying to be the best Ricky Henry that Ricky Henry. Ricky Henderson, that's what it was.
Ricky Henderson.
The best Ricky Henderson that Ricky Henderson could be for all the Ricky Hendersons out there trying to be Ricky Henderson. Yeah.
You nailed it. Call scene. All right. Well, I think that about does it.
All right.
Ryan, we love you. Thank you so much. We'd like to have you back.
Yeah, sure. Anytime I'm kind of in time, I'll figure it out and give me like a month or two.
Get some
I'll
blow
put
and some hooks and
Yeah. We'll try to think
some
about
blackjack and some
Yeah.
hookers, and I'll make my own theme park.
Now that you've kind of felt like the groove of it, like kind of maybe come up with something you'd maybe want to talk about, something that just kind of interests you. Like if you want to come and tell us about anime, we'd be about that as well.
I'll find some talking points on genocide.
Okay, sweet. Just watch Infinity War. That's your homework. Watch the Avengers movie.
Okay.
Weirdo.
Dude, I remember
Everyone saw that movie.
I just saw it 2 days ago.
You did.
So
It's true.
I have to work up to those comic book movies.
Yeah.
They seem like such
I eat
a
them up like
hassle.
candy.
I feel like they have so much potential to be bad.
Yeah,
because
and
it's
it
just
takes
like
a lot of your life out of you. You're like, you gotta prepare
it's
for
just all
weeks.
action. If there's some good story in it, like I thought Dark Knight was pretty good. It wasn't like my favorite comic book movie, but Batman's got such a great, rich story to like draw from. And I just feel like you gotta really like draw on that. Actually, a lot of like comic book characters, have like really great backstories. Most people are just gonna like, well, we'll just. We'll throw all the action and the fight scenes in there, and they'll love it anyways. It's like, I'm not in it for it. I'm not in it for the action. I'm in it for like the extra shit. So
The character development.
Man, it's everything.
Well, Marvel's gotten really good at like making each movie its own kind of genre movie. Like it's fun. It's really cool how they've come to do it, and especially with Infinity War, you have all those characters together, and they pull it off.
Job
Yeah.
about the continuity of connecting all these storylines. They're trying hard.
Oh yeah.
They have teams working.
Well, they have
on
to.
it.
It's kind of like making the most money.
Well, and their demographic is the most particular.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to piss the nerds off because they will let you know. Gonna let you know now.
This is Toby Davis show. Yeah, it's Toby Davis show. It's good to see you again, Toby Davis show. Toby Davis show.
All right, guys. We love you guys very much. Check us next week. You can hit us on the Twitter at TDavvy. You can hit us on the Facebooks at TDavvy. Check us out on the podcast app and leave us one of those 5-star reviews because we need that shit. And if you're on YouTube, leave a like or a comment, but specifically fucking subscribe, please.
God damn, it's the Toby
Fucking
Davis
Ryan
show.
Crabtree, everybody.
And we gonna keep it fun. Keep it fun. And why don't I see no bear? And you gonna run it for days. But who told you no sugar? I've been waiting on you to come by. To come by. And it's the Toby Davis show, and don't be late. Every week. Same bad channel, same bad stage.
Hell yeah. Do you want to tell them where they can reach you, Ryan?
Yeah, MySpace. Is that
Hell
something?
yeah.
No,
That exists. You can say that.
Oh yeah.
You can wrong number the fuck out of these people. It's fine.
No, that's
Meet me
cool. I
on
guess I have
3rd Street tomorrow,
3rd
3
Street.
p.m.
I mean, Facebook.
You have
I'm
a
on
Twitter?
No, I don't have Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter.
Okay.
I don't have like that much to say.
I don't really love the president enough to get on Twitter.
Yeah.
So that's all it is, right?
Anyways, but you can really Instagram is probably like the best way. At Instagram at flat13 FLAT13.
Ooh, flat 13.
Yeah, all words, no
That's
numbers.
classy.
Yeah. G major neutral 0.
Hey, yeah, is that what we have to call chords now? Because they're
Yeah.
not like we can't say major or minor. We have to say like
It's gender neutral. G neutral.
Yeah,
Yep.
All right, guys.
You can't put chords in a box. Chords are coming back. They're fighting.
True that, man.
This has been a lot of fun. Say bye, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yellow with Pikachu. Let me take a Pikachu. With electric, no fucking roof. Cocaine all yellow with Pikachu. Got the city on fire, call the marshal. I just got a parcel. And never where the team go. It look like a car show. And we just flip the trunks up. If we having a drama. You wanna know Cushing? Well, I wanna be left the fuck